Hello everybody and welcome to the Battle of the Machines. Today we are going to be comparing two different machines, a CNC router and a laser engraver. But first, let's get everything set up. All right, time to have some fun. First up, we are setting up the SAINSMART 440 Reno, which is a desktop belt-driven CNC machine. This router comes with everything you need to build it, and they also have a video you can follow along with, which is really helpful. Building this took some time, but this is our first CNC router, so we are definitely at the beginning of our CNC journey. After we built the CNC router, we got to work on building the laser engraver. So we got the CNC machine built right there. I just need to connect it and download the software. So that's all good. Now we're working on putting together this laser. So this is what it's like straight out of the box. Hopefully it won't take us too long to set up. So let's get started. This is the SAINSMART L8 40-watt laser engraver, and it comes mostly assembled. So we got the CNC machine all built, that's ready to go. So we just put it off to the side. Now we're working on building this laser right here. So let me show you guys what we're working with. SAINSMART offers a 20-watt model of this laser engraver and a 40-watt model, and as I mentioned before, this is the 40-watt model. The laser comes with everything needed to set it up, and it also includes several accessories and various materials that you can try out once it's set up. Building this laser was super quick and easy, and after about 15 minutes, we were ready to start the first project. Before we get started with testing out the CNC router, we are building a small enclosure to help eliminate some of the dust and debris. So we used our leftover materials and built a small box to place over the top. Before we dive into our first few projects, I just want to let you guys know that there is quite a learning curve to get started with CNC machines. In the description, you'll find a few useful videos I found really helpful to learn a little bit about the CNC process, the settings and programs you can use, as well as some info on CNC bits, which is a big one. With that being said, if you're new to CNC machines, I recommend giving yourself some time to do a little bit of research to get to know the basics before you get started. The SAINSMART 440 Reno comes with these adjustable clamps to help hold the workpiece down, which is really important to do. Our first project is going to be a simple design that we are going to carve out of this scrap piece of painted pine. So the program that I am using to communicate with the CNC machine is Easel. There are several programs you can use like Lightburn, Carveco, or Vectric, and SAINSMART also includes the program Candle in the USB key that comes with the machine. After I created this simple design, I put in the dimensions of the workpiece and adjusted the settings. And after that, we're ready to do our first project with the CNC. For all of the projects we are going to be working on today, we will be using the 20-degree 1/8 inch V-bit that comes with the CNC machine. There is a lot to learn when it comes to the types and functions of CNC drill bits, and the feeds and speeds, which are basically the settings of the CNC machine. Like I mentioned earlier, I included a few links to some helpful videos in the description, but if you guys know of any videos or guides for beginners, please feel free to drop that info in the comment section. So here are the results of our first test. This took about an hour to complete. So this test went pretty well. Really happy with the results. They look great, very precise and very clean. So that's awesome. We're just gonna keep rolling and put another project in here and move forward. All right, next up we are going to do a design using a piece of clear acrylic. So first step is getting the workpiece clamped down and secure before we start the project. I went back into easel and picked out a simple pine tree to engrave onto the acrylic. Then I adjusted all the settings again and reset the work 0. After everything was dialed in, we hit carve and let it do its thing. Alright, we just finished designing a small little design on the acrylic right here. It turned out really great. It's really precise, this machine, and the detail is just incredible. A cool and easy project that you can do with this SAINSMART CNC machine is to make a custom LED lamp. You can find entire sets on Amazon and customize the acrylic part however you'd like. This would make for some pretty awesome holiday gifts, in my opinion. So now we are going to put together the main project that we're going to be working on and hope that it turns out the way that we hope. Okay, time for the main project. We are carving into a piece of very nice finishing plywood that is left over from our custom foldable sofa bed we made for our ambulance camper. You can check out that video here if you'd like. Alrighty, back into easel we go to reset the settings and make sure everything is looking good. All right, so I just finished setting up the project in Easel, which is the program I'm using to run the CNC machine. So basically what I'm gonna do now is just set everything up and start to make this design in the CNC, which this is gonna take some time. We have the estimated time right around here, and it says 2 to 3 hours. So we'll check back in with you guys once it's closer to being finished, and hopefully it all goes well. So it's been about an hour and a half since we started. We still have quite a ways to go to complete this design. So I think it will definitely take close to 4 hours to complete. And dang, the CNC milling takes a lot of time. Four hours later, the design is finally finished. So let's check it out. I think this came out really well. The small details look really sharp and clean, and overall the design looks great. The capabilities of this small desktop CNC machine are really impressive so far. We're going to sand this really quick with 220 grit to smooth everything out. And man, that really makes a nice finish. So this turned out really great, and we already have so many ideas for our next project. What's really cool about the SAINSMART Reno 440 is you can create 3D designs, which opens up a lot of options. The Reno 440 is also compatible with SAINSMART's rotary module, which adds even more capabilities to this machine. So as I mentioned before, I am completely a beginner with CNC machines, so there is quite a bit of a learning curve to figure out in order to use these machines. So I definitely have some big room for improvement, but that's just how it is when you learn a new tool, and hopefully we can learn as we continue to do more projects. All right, you guys stay tuned, because next up we are going to do a similar project with this laser and compare and contrast the two machines, go over the pros and cons of each, and see what the results are doing the same project with this machine. All right, so we did our experiment with the CNC machine. First time using it, everything went pretty well. Still have a lot to learn, like I mentioned, but now we are going to set everything up for this laser engraver and get rolling with our next project with the laser engraver. The L8 laser engraver has a maximum speed of 40,000 millimeters per minute, which is insanely fast. And since it's the 40-watt model, it's pretty powerful as well. I am really looking forward to testing out this laser. This laser also comes with a camera inside the work area, so first thing we have to do is set up and calibrate the camera. There's a PDF guide in the USB key that comes with the laser that walks you through how to calibrate the camera. So we just finished calibrating the camera for this laser engraver. Pretty much everything is ready to go, everything is set up, so we're gonna run a few tests just to make sure all the settings are good, play around with it to kind of find the good spot for the project we're gonna do afterwards, and then get started on the project. Another great feature of this laser engraver is the adjustable airflow knob on the outside of the machine. This makes it really quick and easy to adjust the airflow. Okay, first test is completed and it looks great. The cuts are really clean and so is the engraving. Now, before we move on to our main project, we are going to do a couple more tests with this laser, starting with the coated sheet metal that is part of the materials that they provide with the laser. One feature I really love about this laser is when you frame your design, it physically shows you the area where the laser will be working, so it makes it really easy to set things up. Okay, next up, we are going to cut and engrave a piece of 1/8 inch acrylic. There's a guide available on the SAINSMART resource page that gives you an idea of what settings to choose. So I followed the guide and the results came out great. I was pretty eager to test out the speed of this machine, so that's what we're doing next. I'm going to batch cut a bunch of custom earrings that I'm going to be using as gifts for the holiday season. The L8 laser engraver absolutely flew through these batch cuts. I am so impressed by the speed and the precision of this laser. The 40-watt laser is really powerful, and I was able to cut all of these items out with no issues. It was the quickest batch cut I've ever done. Everything is working great. I think I got the settings dialed down, so we're gonna go put our piece of finishing plywood in the laser and get started on the main project for this laser. Setting the focus of the laser is also really quick and easy by using the guide on the side of the laser for the height and then tightening it once it's set. And just like that, we're ready to get started with this project. I imported my SVG file into Lightburn and made sure to adjust all the settings correctly. Once the design and settings were finalized, I verified the placement with the framing tool. After that, we were ready to go. So one thing that I would like to mention about these two machines is the time difference for processing the materials is so different. This machine took 4-ish hours to cut the design out of the finishing plywood, and this one is estimated to be about like 15 to 20 minutes to do the engraving. I think I might run another pass with the laser engraver, so that will make it about like half an hour-ish to do the complete design. We'll see after the first pass processes what it looks like and go from there. But that's definitely something to think about. Also, the results are much different. Obviously, with the CNC machine, the design is carved out, and with the laser, it's more or less burned out. So the effects are different as well. But just something to mention so you guys have a better idea of the differences of these two machines. So obviously I decided to do a second round of engraving, and this is the final results. Really happy with the outcome. I think it turned out absolutely great, and the detail and precision of this laser are both really impressive. So that came out really well. Pretty happy with the results. We're gonna bring it down to our little workstation down there and give it a quick little sand to kind of remove a little bit of the smoke. I've heard that if you put tape down, it sort of eliminates that, but to be honest, we usually forget to do that until it's already processing. So maybe one day we'll remember to try that out. But anyways, gonna go sand this down and compare the results. So here's what it looks like after a quick sanding with 220 grit. I think it turned out amazing. Everything is really clean and crisp, and overall the results are really nice looking. Here are the results of the same design with the CNC machine, so you guys can see the differences between the two. Both came out amazing, but like I mentioned earlier, both processes are different, so the results are different when you compare them. All right, the battle of the machines has concluded. That was a really fun experiment. I'm really happy that we got to try out both of these machines from SAINSMART. They both have a lot of similarities, but they also have a lot of differences as well. I would say both of these machines are really great entry-level machines if you're looking to get into either CNC or the laser engraver, or both. Be sure to click the exclusive link in the description if you guys are interested in either of these machines. Both of them are linked down there, and there's also some discount info as well, so check that out. With holiday season right around the corner, both of these would be really great gifts, either to other people or to yourself. So now that the experiment is over, I'm going to dive in a little bit more in detail on the pros and cons of each machine. So let's get into it. First up, let's go over the SAINSMART GENMITSU 440 Reno CNC machine. With this machine, you are able to work with a wide variety of materials, including metals and dense wood. You can cut through very thick material. You can control the depth of the cuts. You can create complex 3D shapes and profiles. And lastly, the price. This CNC machine is on the cheaper end and a great entry-level machine. CNC machines in general have a pretty steep learning curve. They can have long processing times depending on the machine and the design, and they can be really noisy when operating. Next, let's go over the SAINSMART GENMITSU L8 40-watt laser engraver. Laser engraving is really beginner-friendly and easy to get started. You can create high-precision details and designs. The cutting and engraving speeds are generally much faster, and the cuts tend to be really clean. However, the laser can only cut up to a certain thickness and can't cut through super thick materials. There is a potential for discoloration and burn marks due to the heat of the laser. Most lasers require ventilation due to the smoke and fumes, and you have very limited 3D capabilities. Choosing between a CNC and a laser engraver depends on your primary project needs. If you need to work with thicker materials, create intricate 3D shapes, and have a higher tolerance for a steeper learning curve, a CNC machine is likely the better choice. If you prioritize fine detail, fast cutting speeds, and ease of use, a laser engraver might be more suitable. Or you can be somewhere in between and want to experiment with both ends of the spectrum, in which case both machines would be the way to go. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was a really fun video to film. I'm really happy that I got a chance to try out a desktop CNC machine. And I'm looking forward to expanding our capabilities on the ranch. With that being said, we'll see you guys in the next video. Help support our channel by leaving a comment, liking, and sharing this video. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with our projects and adventures on Pacific Pines Ranch. We put out new videos every Saturday, and sometimes even during the week, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss any. Okay, bye.